I want to take this next question. Has Kejriwal's image as an honest politician been damaged by these charges and by his arrest? What do respondents say to this question? I'll show you the Delhi data first. In Delhi, and this is where Shazia Ilmi has a big smile on her face, 56% of the overall respondents, 60% of the NDA voters, and even 50% of opposition voters. 50% of opposition voters say yes, Kejriwal's image has been hurt by these charges. Look at the national numbers now. So outside Delhi in the HSM markets, the national numbers, 51% of the overall voters, 49.3% of opposition voters, and 53.9% of NDA voters. See, NDA voters naturally are going to say, "Ha, bhai, image kharab hogi." The problem here, and which is where, Jasmine refers to the propaganda machine of the BJP and how they've been at it with this charge, it seems to be hitting home. 49.3% Shazia of opposition voters all India, and in Delhi 50.5% of opposition voters seem to think that this has indeed hurt Kejriwal's image as an honest politician.
Yes, this and more. So this all this started also when Manish Sisodia and after him Sanjay Singh got arrested. But even before that, when Satyendra Jain was arrested and that whole PWD scam and all that and what have you. So this has been going on for a while, and there have been many charges against many of the MLAs. Now, but here's the real deal. And I think Delhi is the epicenter of Arvind Kejriwal's politics, of Aam Aadmi Party. This is where it began. It started with Jhadu, and it seems to be ending with Daru. So I really think that when 48% and 56%, respectively answers to two different questions, when people believe that Kejriwal and the charges are sticking, that Kejriwal is corrupt and the charge is sticking, there is a lot of thinking to do. Now, confusing electoral bonds with kickbacks is again a very silly strategy and will not work, because all that is post facto. Electoral bonds, we all know, are different, and this is an investigation into excise policy, or the Sharab Ghotala, as we call it. Now, here the facts and figures are for everybody to see. Arvind may throw Manish Sisodia and Sanjay Singh under a bus and say, "Oh, a lot of people used to come to my residence of CM, and I don't know anything about it." But the fact of the matter is that whether it's a Sessions Court or the High Court or Supreme Court, Manish Sisodia has not got bail. Satyendra Jain has not got bail. Sanjay Singh has not got bail. Whereas opposition leaders are concerned, all of them have got bail, starting from Tejasvi Yadav to Chidambaram to all others. So there is something to be said here about the courts and their function.
Okay, now Jasmine Shah.
Let me finish.
Okay, go on.
10 seconds more. And the fact of the matter is that it's very easy to confuse the issue and talk about something that happened de facto. The whole case is not based on Sharath Reddy alone. There is C. Arvind, who was Manish Sisodia's PA. There is Samir Mahindra, the wholesale person, wholesaler, who got the L1 contract in this, and all the retailers, and many testimonies and 14 arrests. So it is a bit more complicated than pretending to throw it under the carpet and say, "Oh, push it under the carpet and say, oh, it's all about some Sharath Reddy and electoral bonds."
Okay,
this is not really connected.
Jasmine Shah, even if I ignore all the NDA voters, just leave them for the moment. In Delhi, 50.5% of opposition voters seem to think that Kejriwal's image is an honest, because the whole thing was based on imandari, on honesty. That his image, halo as an honest politician, has been damaged. Even the opposition voters seem to be telling our pollster this.
Rahul, so I'm not going to, attack this data, but I do not agree with it, and that's what I will say, that because this is definitely not the perception in large segments of the population, and these are the people who have been witnessing this sham of a scam investigation that is going on. Shazia today here can come and say that, "Arey, aapko bail nahi mili," but the question is, evidence kahan hai? Not a single rupee of money trail, not a single evidence, and there is no parallel in Indian history or maybe even in any respectful democracy that you put sitting politicians, national leaders behind jail without any evidence. Trial has not begun, चार्जशीट भी फाइल नहीं हुई है, लेकिन एक साल से आप जेल में डाल रहे हो. Why? Because you have made the ED and the PMLA कानून so draconian It was actually meant, Rahul, to fight narcotics and terrorists. Now, today, tell me, can Shazia name one drug smaggler or terrorist that is in the jail because of ED? No, she will not have any answer. But if you ask how many Vipaks ke politicians are under jail, Manish Sisodia, Arvind Kejriwal. So the purpose here is very clear. And why should we not ask you questions on Sharath Reddy? Sharath Reddy donated. It was the statement of Sharath Reddy on the basis of which Arvind Kejriwal has been arrested. And this Sharath Reddy, it turns out, he is a donor of BJP. Rahul, you should ask the question, how can you take money from a kingpin of the Sharab Ghotala, make him give a statement, and then arrest the sitting chief minister?
Okay, let Shazia Ilmi respond to this, because this is an important question. The man and the viewers also need to understand this, on whose testimony Kejriwal has been arrested, or is a part of the reason that he's been arrested.
No, that is not true, Rahul. You're misinformed.
It is part of the reason. It's
Rahul,
part,
you're misinformed.
No, Sharath Reddy. Look, let me frame my question and then you respond. Part of the reason that he's been arrested is because the head of Aurobindo Pharma, who's part of the so-called South lobby, who claimed that he paid AAP leaders, including Kejriwal, he was actually one of the accused. He's now turned approver, and Kejriwal and AAP lawyers are asking in court that if somebody is under duress and facing charges, you get a confession out of him, you can get him to say anything, and he can say, "Maine diya Kejriwal ko paisa." Respond to what Jasmine Shah is saying.
So
but
this person,
BJP ko.
let's say Sharath Reddy, talking about Aurobindo Pharma.
BJP ko diya, wo bhi arrest hone ke baad.
So how do you explain the loss to the exchequer of excise when the sales and consumption went up? How do you explain the increase of commission to the wholesaler to Indo Spirits from 6% to 12%? How do you explain 185% jump of profiteering to private players? How do you expect?
So Shazia, that's as far as the liquor policy is concerned. No, ma'am, you're answering a different question. Just hear what I'm saying. Shazia,
I'm not able to speak.
Shazia, just listen to my question. No, once again. Just listen. Ma'am, listen to my question.
You're doing this again and again.
Shazia, आप मेरा सवाल सुनिए. Just listen to my question. You're not. No. My question is this. Just allow me to ask my question so that you answer the correct question. Now, after all these charges have been leveled, this particular liquor baron stroke pharma giant goes out and buys electoral bonds, which are all for the BJP. Before that, yes, you haven't come to this. After his arrest, he's only buying bonds for the BJP. Before his arrest, he's buying for others as well. Respond to this. Yes, Shazia.
I'm answering that. That's exactly what I was going to answer. This is waste of footage in all the time. I was going to say exactly that. So electoral bonds are legit. They were struck as unconstitutional only a few weeks back. Electoral bonds are legit and they cannot be compared to kickbacks, which is actually the main allegation in the excise policy, liquor policy scandal. So let's not confuse the two. And even if he has, let's say that post facto, he was scared and he ended up buying it and he became informer. Let me tell you, which is exactly what I was trying to tell you, that the entire case is not based on one man's evidence. CM Arvind was Manish Sisodia's PA. The chief secretary was the one who flagged the issue. There were Congress leaders who flagged it and talked about the irregularities of the case. So post facto, somebody can give money through electoral bonds, which is actually money given through a check to the State Bank of India. So let's not confuse. ये जो रायता फैलाने की और जलेबी और इमरती बनाने की आदत है ना, please, none of us will be fooled by that.
Okay.
So the fact of the matter is that this is very different. Electoral bonds are different from rishwat khori, commission khori.
No, but it is intriguing. It is. Shazia ji, once again, Shazia ji.
This is K Kavita.
The fact is, before he's arrested, he's buying bonds for. He's buying bonds across parties. After arrest, he's buying bonds only for one party. Now, boss, I think that speaks for itself. People will form their own opinion on that.
Ask that. Agreed, you can ask that question, but you'll have to answer, right? You'll have to answer the question of what was Vijay Nair doing with Samir Mahindra calling up Arvind Kejriwal? Why is K Kavita and the South lobby there? Why was the policy made to tweak profiteers?
Okay.
Why was the government thrown under the bus and private vendors made to play? All this happened post facto.
Okay. So what I'll do is we'll set up a separate PSC Yashwant Deshmukh on electoral bonds. I think there is enough meat there. We need to do that separately.